Welcome back, everybody. Barcelona have beat Dortmund 4-0 at home at the Montjuic in the UCL quarterfinals. And if you ever want to see great football, all you have to do is watch Barcelona. I mean, what a performance today. We knew this was such a huge game for us. But to do it in the way they did it, winning 4-0 and leaving basically no doubt that they are going to be in the semifinals, I mean, just really incredible stuff from the team. I really can't express into words how much I love this team and how much I love this club this season. There were also some really great UCL quarterfinals for the other teams, some really great results. Madrid ended up losing today, and their football was absolutely atrocious, but Barcelona, just a complete opposite. Such great football, and let's get into it. We have lots to talk about. But if we do start with the lineup and go over some of the goals and just the match stats, we started with a really strong lineup. It was exactly what I wanted to see. Inigo coming back into the team over Araujo. Not that Araujo isn't good or anything, but I feel that he does have some moments where he's a little bit error prone. So I think Inigo starting was a good choice, and Fermin as well starting. He's been good on UCL nights, and he's very direct, which I think helped us a lot on the counter, especially in that second half where he picked up Lewandowski also taking back his place. I mean, just really, really strong lineup, and you could see that from when we started the game, we were creating chances here and there. I think there was a few times where I was mainly worried about Dortmund and the aerial presence they had. They have really tall players and they can be strong in the air. And despite that, I would say that we pretty much had control over it. I think it was later in that first half where we kind of started to slow down and it was a little bit poor. You could see Flick getting annoyed near the end of the half, where it was just, the press wasn't as strong, or, the fact that Dortmund were having a couple of chances. We did end up scoring first. 25th minute, we got a free kick, or not a free kick. I don't know if it's free kick or corner, but my memory is poor. But anyway, Inigo gets it to Kubarsi, a center back, assisting a center back. Kubarsi gets a slight touch on it, but just enough to get past the goalkeeper. And I thought it was Kubarsi's goal at first, but Rafinha actually taps in right at the end, really, kind of stealing Kubarsi's goal. I was worried it was going to be offside, but luckily, by the time Rafinha was running, he was onside, and he was able to tap in, get a goal. He now has 12 goals in 11 Champions League matches, and I think 19 goals and assists, the most out of any Brazilian player in a UCL campaign. Really, really great stuff by him today. But, there was a few moments in the first half where he's a bit, I wouldn't say shaky, but, he had a couple chances that maybe he just didn't get the right pass off at the end, or, some attacks were being slowed down. I think that was a problem in the first half, definitely, that the first, our attacks were kind of not flowing very well, where that be Lewandowski kind of, slowing it down and being heavy with his touches, or, Rafinha not being able to get that final ball. Yamal sometimes as well, or Firmin not, gain enough weight on the pass or putting too much weight on it, or, not being able to get past. Well, I mean, mainly with Firmin not really being able to do much. Yamal was cooking this whole game, he was really crucial for us. But really great stuff to get that first goal. But yeah, definitely did slow down where Dortmund got a few crosses in, and Guirassy just got really, unlucky. We end this game, with a clean sheet. But in that first half, if Guirassy was able to get a strong touch, at the end of I think it was like two crosses he had. It definitely could have been a tie, or 2-1 in the first half, which why a lot of us were frustrated, and Hansi was. And then I think Guirassy had one more shot in that first half, but it didn't really go anywhere. It hit the side of the net. But it was really that second half where we started to, ramp things up, finally get into our groove of things. And then from then on, Dortmund just had no chance. In the 48th minute, Lewandowski, he came up with a goal. Really great stuff. Koundé made a run, ended up distracting the Dortmund defender. Yamal comes inside, floats across into Rafinha, who heads it to Lewandowski, who gets also a header on a soft touch, but enough to get the goal in. Really great stuff. Then Fermin after that was really, really cooking. So it was really great stuff, like I was saying, for him. Started cooking, having a few, counters or chances. It's really unfortunate he didn't get a goal today. He did get an assist, but, there was around the 63rd minute where he had a really strong strike, but he hit the post just wide. Then right after that, Szczesny as well before leading up to his goal, had really great composure, dribbled past one player, and was able to do his sweeping job really well. Really great stuff. It's always great to have a goalkeeper with composure like that. And then for me, another chance he did have, which was blocked, and then he blasted it over the bar, but it was really close. Well, luckily, he was able to get that goal contribution. 66 minute, Barca on the counter. Really great desire from him, to start that counter to really create that chance. Let's see. He passed it back to Yamal, who plays a wonderful pass to him, just lets him freely through, basically. Beautiful 1-2. Then cuts it back to Lewandowski, who just loves scoring against Dortmund. I think it's like 30 goals in 28 games against them. Something crazy like that. I could be getting that stat wrong, but all I know is he has a lot of goals. And he just, beautiful finish. Slight deflection, but, not enough to keep out. Really great stuff. Just today, Lewandowski, that's what I was hoping for. I tweeted before the game, like, I hope he's on his game today. I know, obviously, he's not going to be great in the build-up or whatever, but that's not, what we need him for. We just need him to get on the end of chances and finish them. And he did his job today. And he did get a man of the match. So, really great stuff for him. Firmino did end up coming off for Gabby. Good performance. Like I said, unfortunately, wasn't able to get his goal. But, did what he needed to do. From then on, we were already 3-0 up, but, with that substitution, then it was just over from there. Really good pressing from the team. We really ramped it up, that whole half, but especially here for the second goal. Lewandowski gets the ball back, steals it, gets it to Rafinha, who just plays wonderful balling, easy balling to Yamal, and Yamal basically toe punts it into the back of the net, and it's 4-0. No chance for Dortmund, just utter domination. You can see just Dortmund from then on just completely just fell flat. Just nothing, just basically nothing you can do after that. Incredible from the team. Ball and Yamal, doing their dance as they do. Like, such good chemistry between those two. And man, just like, what a team, what a performance. Had a couple of substitutions after that. Ferran, Araujo, Eric came on. Pedri, Inigo, Lewandowski. Last 10 minutes, were able to get rest. Really good, substitutions. And then I couldn't believe this, honestly. Ansu Fati coming on in the last few minutes. Yamal is like kind of desperate. He's saying like, "Yo, like take me off, please." Like I think he wasn't injured, because now we know he was okay. He wasn't injured, or it did seem like fatigue. I'm gonna be honest. I think he was faking it a little bit. He probably was tired, but he was like, you know what? I want to be able to get Ansu on and finally get him some minutes. And it was really nice to see. The stadium was even surprising, cheering him on. I swear, if Ansu somehow got a goal today, I think the stadium would have just exploded. And I went crazy despite my criticisms of him. Obviously, he didn't have much time to do anything. And when you don't play in 3 months, you're not going to be... I mean, he isn't sharp. He wasn't sharp in general, when he did play months ago. But especially, you don't play for 3 months. You're not going to be really super sharp or be able to do much. Did have a couple times on the ball. He had one dribble, and then, at the end where he really has a desire to steal the ball back and is on the counter. And it is really unfortunate that the pass he ends up getting off is weak and ends up getting cut out easily, because it could have easily been an assist for him or anything. So it is unfortunate, but it is what it is, not many minutes. Then near the end, Araujo got two really good blocks in. I mean, when he's able to just worry about just defending and nothing else, and he doesn't have to do he's not doing anything stupid, then he's really at the top of his game. Really good blocks, keep that clean sheet, and it was just routine for Barca. I think definitely, this game maybe could have ended 5-0, 5-6 even, but, I'm not going to complain. It was a really good win from the team, and we had to do the same. And the second leg, Flick and Lewandowski came out and said, despite winning 4-0, the game is not over. Football is crazy. But I think, if we played how we did today, and don't do anything stupid, don't collapse or anything, we're in the semifinals. Just great stuff. Like I said, I love this club. And let me know what you guys thought about the game. And I'll see you in the next one. We have a game against Leganes in 3 days, but I think there will be some heavy rotation for that, or at least I would hope so, without sacrificing points in the league. But yeah, anyway, great stuff again. Visca Barca, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.